Marx's Capital isn't just a book, it's a lens through which to view and critique the world of capitalism. Its influence has rippled through history, from labor movements of the early 20th century to modern discussions about income inequality. Whether one agrees with Marx's views or not, there's no denying the significant impact capital has had on our understanding of economics and society. It shaped many socialist and communist movements that pushed for workers' rights and a more equal distribution of wealth. Since publication, this 3-volume text has influenced political and economic thought on a global scale. Of course, it has also faced criticism, particularly from proponents of free market capitalism, who argue that competition and market forces can better regulate economies and create wealth. Perhaps you're familiar with the term commodities. A commodity encompasses various items that fulfill human requirements. The value of a commodity lies in its practicality, as described by Marx as its use value. This concept holds importance as it underpins the foundation of wealth within societies. In capitalism, commodities can also become the physical representation of something called exchange value. In this sense, even objects without a use can have an exchange value. For example, art and music don't provide shelter or food, but they can still have a high value in the marketplace. Many things have both a use and an exchange value. The contents of a well-stocked storeroom of athletic shoes in a shop, for instance, can be exchanged for money, which will pay rent and salaries, and buy more shoes to sell. These shoes may then accrue even more exchange value for being trendy and stylish rather than just being useful as shoes. But all exchangeable commodities, from shoes to cars in this way, commodities are like crystallizations of social labor, bearing value. Not all labor is equal, though. The production of different commodities requires different types of labor. These types are not interchangeable. A tailor can't produce linen, and a weaver can't make a coat. This differentiation forms the basis of the social division of labor, the varying kinds of work required by a community to function and produce commodities. Now, let's take an example from everyday items, social hieroglyphics. Have you ever seen boxes of soup on the market shelf? My friends, it's not just a box of soup. It is a representation of human labor, and a statement of social relations and, believe it or not, is the language of value. It is representative of all those who have made it. This is evidence of the interconnectedness of the global economy. And this brings us to an interesting concept, like capital. When commodities produce value higher than their cost of production, they create value excess, which is the life of capital. But capital is not a stagnant entity. It is a dynamic force that goes through various economic phases. According to Marx, the capitalist starts with money, which he uses to buy goods and labor and make goods, and then sells these goods and converts them into money. This process is repeated again and again. For the entire capitalist system to continue to function smoothly, production from one sector of the economy must be tailored to the input needs of another. In other words, capitalism depends on a certain balance of production in different industries. Now, let's explore another fascinating aspect, hoarding. Did you know that amazing amounts of gold and silver were buried in the societies of the past? Hoarding is not just about collection. It is a mirror that reflects social value, desires, and even virtues. In addition, it plays an important role in managing the volatility and flow of money in our economic scenario. As we go deeper, we encounter a painful phenomenon, alienation. It is the result of the workers' indifference to their own labor, their creations, themselves and their colleagues. Imagine a world where your labor is limited to just one cog in a machine, devoid of personal expression. But there is much more to it. Capitalism is not without its contradictions. As technology advances, the value of human labor may diminish, leading to an economic crisis. It is a roller coaster ride of overproduction and recession, exposing the inherent instability of capitalism.